Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Crafting with V. Sorry for the second time in a row. I forgot to charge my tablet, so we won't be having the second camera today. I'm sorry. Anyway, trying to get everything set back up here because I was running a little bit late. And I just spilled something over here. This is my luck today. I'll clean it up here in a minute. And yes, I'm in my pajamas today. Sorry about that. So how is everyone doing? Right now I'm trying to get this set up. I was running a little behind today. I'll have to get a towel here in just a second, but anyway, I'm trying to work on this today. I'm trying to get it to where you can see it. Maybe? Okay. This is called, in case some of y'all haven't seen it, it's Something in the Air. It's a Diamond Art Club. I'm sorry, Lexi. I know you'll be glad once the baby's here and you can actually get that tooth pulled. What is that noise? Okay, hold on just a second and I will be right back. Okay. So sorry about that. I accidentally spilled my drink. Yes, I am. I actually got them at Walmart. They were on clearance and they're very comfortable. So that's what I'm wearing tonight. I really do like this light pad. And it's a AG PTEK. It's a small one, but what I like about it is the on and off buttons are on the end of it. Hi, Margie. How are you? And I do not end up turning it off. I'm not ending up turning it off so easily. Anyway, I'm going to start working on this. I got my tower set over here. I was running a little behind. My mom is still in the hospital. That's glad. I'm happy to hear that, Margie. My mom is still in the hospital. They're still trying to figure out the right antibiotic for her. One of the nurse practitioners came in after or while I was there today before I left, and she was telling me that they're probably going to try to do something like a CAT scan to to see if there's any stones or anything that's blocking her kidneys, which might be causing the severe UTIs, which because she's been septic twice in 3 months. And she's been on antibiotics several times for that. So hopefully we get all this straightened out soon. But Tuesday, I went to Lexi's gender reveal party, and we know what she's having. I don't know if I still have it on my phone. Is it okay to show this if it'll show up, Lexi? Okay, let's see. I really need to organize my phone. Not now. Oh, that's why it's on the wrong one. Let me see if I can find it. Close out my video that I was watching. I was watching Medium. Okay. Let's see if we can get it. Oops. So I don't know if you can see it on there, but right over in here is the color, and it would help if I would be able to hold it to the screen right. But you can actually see the blue on there. So they are having a baby boy. I hope so. At least this time they caught it quicker than they did last time. So hopefully they'll get this figured out pretty quickly. I might actually pull out a color here. How about the red slash, which is 13, 12, and 13. I was going to try to make another tower on my live tonight, but I was just so busy and didn't get everything set up till the last minute. So we've got it all set up. I'll try to do that either next time on Thursday or just as like a coffee chat and WIP. What else has been going on lately? I know there was a whole lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't write any of it down. Granny isn't able to be here tonight because she went grocery shopping. So whenever you watch this on the replay, hello, Granny. How are you? I'm actually, once again, not drinking coffee. I've actually got root beer, which is what I just spilled over here earlier while I was trying to get ready. But today has been a really long day. Thankfully, my son watched the grandkids for me today so I could go up and see my mom. And then Lexi came up there as well to see her for a few minutes. And whenever Lexi was up there, she asked her about Mo. But then she turned around before that, and whenever I came in there, she had said, "Well, hello, I didn't know you worked here." And I was coming up there to see her, but my daughter had to use my van, so I ended up driving my brother's truck up there. It used to be my dad's truck before he passed away. And it's actually a really nice little truck. For it's like a 2005. But I will tell you something. I am so spoiled to having vehicles that have backup cameras in them. The backup cameras and cruise and all that, it kind of throws you for a loop whenever you get into a vehicle that doesn't have any of that stuff, no matter how good it runs. So every time I would go to back out, I'm used to looking to the sides and then looking in my backup camera to make sure there's nobody behind me. And it just wasn't there. So, and then on the way home, I decided to tell the GPS to avoid highways. So it ended up taking me what's normally like a 45-50 minute drive. It took me like an hour and 5 minutes to get home. But it was okay. I enjoyed the drive. It wasn't the same way Josh takes a way up there that is completely different. It didn't take me that way. It took me a completely different way. At least it didn't take me through a cemetery, Lexi. I still wonder if y'all said something different for it to actually send y'all to the cemetery that time. But whenever I left, my mom was sleeping. She's been sleeping a lot. She's doing pretty good as far as that. She's not really eating a whole lot, but we've been able to get her to drink her shakes, which are the Ensure shakes. So at least that's going to help a little bit. um, yeah, there was one time that Lexi was going to go to Slim Chickens and she had put it in her GPS, and for some reason it took them through a cemetery. Did it ever actually take you to Slim Chickens? that that is bad, Margie. But I can imagine typing in McDonald's and it taking you to a hospital. That I think that's just about as bad as the cemetery. I've had some GPSs take me some strange routes, but I've never had it take me take me to anything like that. I know there's been times that it has taken me all the way around the block just to end up turning back on the same road that I was already driving on. That would do it. I don't think I've ever seen a McDonald's in a hospital. That is true. Yeah, my son used to go to McDonald's so much that he would just drive there for no reason. He'd be going somewhere else and just automatically drive to McDonald's. But it's like me, if I'm talking to somebody in a car, I need somebody to remind me that I need to turn into whatever place I'm going to because I'm going to drive right past it. I don't know how many times I've done that. I was going to go up to the house and get pictures of the van and take some before pictures on that today, and I just kept driving all the way through. I don't think I've seen one here in Arkansas that has that. And of them have Starbucks or Sweet Bay. I like the kiwi strawberry circle one. That is actually one of my favorite flavors in the circle. And it's funny because any other kiwi drink, I don't really care for it. But I was out at we were doing grocery shopping yesterday at Walmart, and I almost bought one of the new pink stainless steel cups that they have for Circle. But if those rings on there will fit on almost any of the stainless steel cups that have a mouth to them like that. So I figure I might try to get a cheaper one and just save my money instead of paying the $30 for that one that's smaller. Does didn't you get one of those for Mo one time too, a small one? I love strawberry. Anything strawberry except I do not like kiwi most of the time. Kiwi's just a flavor that I don't care much for at all, but I love strawberry. Strawberry banana is one of my favorites. But and that's another thing, the strawberry banana in the Circle water bottles, I do not like that. Hi, Diana. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Don't mind you lurking at all. Thank you so much for stopping by. But I really need to start drinking more water. And I keep telling myself that I am. But I don't drink nearly as much as I should. And here lately, I've been drinking way too many Cokes as well. Or root beer, anyway. Yeah, last week, whenever I showed the root beer instead of the coffee, um, I believe it was January, wasn't it, Margie, that said something about a beer chat and whip? I love a lot of I like the grape propel, and they have a watermelon one. I think the watermelon one is my favorite one, um, of the propel ones. But I really need to wait until I go to Sam's Club to buy some of those because they are too expensive just buying one at a time. But yeah, I forgot to charge my tablet today, And besides that, I decided to go ahead and get my shower out of the way, so y'all really don't want to see me in all my pajamas. Y'all have already seen little glimpses of them. What color was I doing? That's the good thing about having it on the tray. If you forget what color, it's on the tray that you're working on. I love working out of these towers. You know, I forgot that they had those packets. I might have to get some of those. Take them to work with me. Maybe I'll drink more water that way. Okay, let's see. But no, it's been a busy week. I've had the grandkids quite a bit. Or actually, I can't really say that because the grandkids have been at my house quite a bit. But I think Joshua has actually been watching them more than I have this week because I've been going up to the hospital. And then yesterday, actually, pretty much took the day off. It was Josh's day off, not Joshua, Josh. And me and Josh and Joshua went to Texas Roadhouse and ate dinner. Um, Josh had gotten a gift card from his work for something about the surveys that they were doing, so we went up there and ate. That's not bad for 10 packets. I'm definitely going to look into that. So we all went up there, and even with that gift card, it was pretty expensive, but it was well worth it. I always get the combo meals that have the 2 entrees, and then I'll take one home with me to take to work either. Normally, whenever we go up there, it's like a Friday, but I'll get the second entree to eat for lunch or whatever the next day. And this time I decided to get the steak and the rib combo meal. And I had them to package the ribs to go. And I reheated them today, and those were the best ribs. I haven't had ribs in a long time, but those were so good. Absolutely loved them. So, I know what I am getting next time I go there. Those were really, really good. My son, normally he doesn't go with us whenever we go there, and normally I'll get that and then I'll give him part of the leftover because I never eat the full steak. I always fill up on the rolls and the salad, and a lot of times we'll get the potato skins. To Texas Roadhouse. I don't know if you've ever been there with us. You are very picky on what you will eat. But yeah, they have really good ribs there, and their steaks are real good too. But Lexi is my child that growing up, I don't know if she still does this. I think she does. Yeah, she doesn't like the chicken strips there, I guess. But we have a small little fast food restaurant here in the town that we live or I live in. She no longer lives here, and she has to go down there and get a chicken strip dinner every time she comes down here because they actually have really good food at this fast food restaurant, and probably 95% of the time, it's always cooked right then, so you don't have anything that's been sitting in a warmer or anything. They're really good, but I don't remember taking you there. Was it for your birthday or something? To Texas Roadhouse? I don't know. We took Josh there last night and he loved the steak. Or we took Joshua there. I'm sorry, I have to try to differentiate on here which one I'm talking about. I'm sorry if I'm confusing any of y'all. But yeah, we went there, and before we went to eat, we decided to go look at a couch for the camper because Josh had been in there fixing the wall of it. And so he had fixed that, but he had to remove the couch to be able to fix that wall. So, and that couch that was in there was very, very uncomfortable, especially to sleep on. I don't know how you slept on it, Lexi, at any time that you were in there, but yeah, that couch was terrible. So we went looking for a little love seat to put in there, and we found one, and it was on sale for a decent price. So we've got a dual recliner set in there. That is so true. But I don't think at that time she ate any vegetables. We go to McDonald's or anything like that, and Lexi orders a McDouble, no cheese, plain with no cheese, and just eats the meat, doesn't eat the bun or anything else. She was my very, very picky child. I don't know. I don't think I can still get her to try some new things. And then Courtney is the child that pretty much eats anything now. Yeah. Where was the other place that you wanted to go for your birthday to try their chicken that you didn't like? Was it Popeyes? Yeah, she didn't like the hamburger buns or any type of bread like that, but she loved toast. She would eat toast all the time, but wouldn't eat the hamburger buns or anything. I'm telling on you growing up. You know, I don't think I ever told on here about the house in Hartman with the basement underneath. We used to live we used to live in a house in this little itty bitty town. At the time, there was still a grocery store in this town. And if you wanted to get your mail, you had to rent a post office box because they didn't even deliver mail to the houses. So, anyway, we lived in this little this house there, and it was an owner finance, and we were still trying to fix it up. Well, there was a little hole in in the floor. It was just big enough for a little kid to stick their foot in. It wasn't very big at all. And Josh was down below we had a half basement underneath it. Josh was down there working on something in the basement. And Lexi, for some reason, decided to stick her foot in that little hole, and my husband saw it. And, and he grabbed a hold of her foot, and she was screaming bloody murder. She was like, "There's a monster got me! A monster has me!" To this day, I can't. That is one of my favorite stories with her. And anymore, it's a monster. It's not a monster, it's a monster. But she was only like 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. But we were still trying to fix the house up while living in it, and we were young. So it was pretty much the best that we could do for a house at that time that had enough room for all of us. Because I think that is I was pregnant with Josh, and he was actually born while we were living there. It did have a it wasn't a window, it was glass doors. They were two big glass doors that opened up. We we just never kept them closed though, because the actual room that was supposed to be a dining room, we actually made that into a bedroom for one of y'all. Or actually, I think it was you girls that had that room as the bedroom. But I will never forget that. That was just one of the funniest things. And then whenever we ended up bringing Josh home, I thought that Lexi would be the jealous one because she was the baby. She was the baby, so I figured whenever we brought Joshua home, she would be the jealous one, but she wasn't. We brought him in the door, and Andrew asked if we could take him back. He didn't want another child. He had already been through it once, I guess. He didn't want another one. I did not let him push you down the rock hill. By the time I noticed it, you were already going down the hill. Yeah, they had a little radio flyer wagon, and it had the seats in it and stuff. In fact, I still had that wagon whenever we moved here, but anyway, I turn around and look, and And I catch it just in time to see Andrew pushing Lexi down this rock hill, and it was made of rocks. They had the decorative rocks there, but they weren't smooth or anything, pushing her down the hill in this. I'm really, really surprised that the wagon didn't tip over. I'm surprised I made it through all those years with the kids because they definitely tried to scare me to death. But yeah, there was one time we lived in that house, but my mom lived in the town right before that. And the trailer that she was living in, there was a gas station in front of the trailer just down the hill. Well, Andrew ran out the door and ran all the way down to that gas station, and he was just in his pull-up. So she's sitting there trying to catch him to get him back to the house, and I know my kids know this, but every time the kids come to my house, I'm like, keep clothes on them. I want them to have clothes whenever they're running around, but he was just not having any of it. He saw something and he wanted to go after it. I think before I took him and dropped him off there, we had went into the store and he wanted something, and I wouldn't let him have it. But I'm telling you, the kids really did try to scare me to death a lot of the time. But now they're all grown, and some of them are having kids of their own. My son doesn't want any kids, which is fine. Or actually, two of my sons don't want any kids. And that's fine if they don't want kids. I know, Lexi. I think that you are one of the ones that like to scare me the most. You were a daredevil. Even whenever we'd go hiking and stuff, she would get too close to the edge to look over, and it just scared me to death even then. I was so afraid that Rocky was just gonna. Are you forgetting your brother? Zachary never didn't live with us full time. He actually lived with his mom. We would have Rocky with us a lot of the times, and you would put him around your waist. And I know that he didn't run off or anything that often, but it scared me to death. Oops, where'd that go? But we always had fun whenever we went camping. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get me another tower made for the living room. Right now, I'm just using one of the small ones in there. But I really like having this. It makes doing, especially paintings like this, so much easier. Two. We got some ABs. Granny isn't here to tell us the color, but it's DAC's 137. Has anybody seen the new kits that DAC is supposed to be putting in their toolkits that they're supposed to start putting in there. I barely saw something about a refillable pen that they were gonna start putting in there. And I haven't been able to find it since. I was gonna show it to you, Lexi, I think it was, and I couldn't find the post on it again. I can't even remember how that one was gonna work. I think that they were gonna use their petty that they made for them, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I know. And you were very cranky at that time, too. I don't think Robbie knows what he's in for yet. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to put the replay on my lives again using StreamYard. I didn't have time to try to mess with it tonight, so this one probably won't have the live chat and the replay. But eventually, I will figure it out. Um, there was something else that happened this week that I need to start making notes throughout the week so I know what to tell y'all, or so I remember what to tell y'all. Um, told y'all about the new couch for the camper. I'm really thinking about taking out the dinette in there and putting another recliner in there. Oh my gosh, Margie. That would be terrible. She was okay, wasn't she? That is just awful. I would be livid at my kids. Yeah, I would be so mad. Almost as mad as I was at Lexi for going swimming somewhere and not being able to tell me where she was at. But that that would scare me to death. Because if it's anything like the dirt around here, it's a lot heavier than like sand. It did happen. Lexi decided that she was going to go swimming with some of her friends. That is good. I'm glad that she was okay. Um, that would scare. I bet your heart dropped whenever they first told you that. But Lexi decided to go swimming with some of her friends, and they got out there and they ended up with a flat tire. And she had to walk down the road a little ways to call me to get signal. Well, anyway, she couldn't tell me where she was at, had no idea where they were swimming at. The people with her couldn't tell me where they were at. And we were trying to get like landmarks and stuff from them, and it was like hours. I didn't know about that, but anyway, it was like hours that we were looking for them. And finally, they said something about a flag being painted on the side of a barn. Thank goodness that my brother knew the area and was able to go get them, and it took a while. In fact, he told me, "You're gonna stay here at the house," because I was we had some people helping us look, and he's what was like, "You're gonna stay here, and I'm gonna go get her. You need to calm down," because I was so mad I could barely even look at her once she got home because I was so mad, so scared, and it was well after dark whenever we finally figured out where they were at. And my brother had to take the tow truck out there, I believe. Yeah, I didn't know that that happened with the water moccasin, but it was a good thing I had time to calm down before you got there. I don't even know if I even said much to you once we got in the car that night because I was so mad. Yeah, and I know this shouldn't. My son, one time, he is a type 1 diabetic. Well, we used to have this thing called Blue Loop where my kids or where the kids could put in their blood sugar and stuff and tell us what their blood sugar was. And it would send the notification to our phone. Well, my son is at his girlfriend's house and I just get a notification that his blood sugar is like 32. And I was like, "What?" So I hurried and called him. And by the time I called him, his blood sugar had already went up. He had started correcting it. But he was like, I was just sitting there and realized that I couldn't complete a thought. So I checked my blood sugar. And he was all just very chill about it whenever he was talking to me, even though while he was talking to me, he was still slurring his words and talk about being scared. I can imagine, Margie. I my kids have really scared me a lot at times. I bet kids don't realize the consequences that's gonna happen. Or not that it's gonna happen, but the consequences that could happen in those scenarios. I know that I did so many things as a kid that my parents never knew about that I probably should have been beat for myself. But we are already at 49 minutes. Just wait, Lexi. You've got You still got 18 years to go through it, and then even after that, you never quit being scared for your kids. I cannot I You think back to whenever you were a kid and something like that, and it's just not registering that that could have been dangerous. But I'm very glad that everything was okay with her. That would be Mo. The other night over there by the tires, he was just sitting there looking at the wasp whenever we were trying to get him away from it, like, what's it gonna do to me? That is so true, Margie. That's the way I felt whenever Lexi did that. And here we were at her gender reveal party on Tuesday night. And whenever we were there, um, I was sitting in one of the chair or the swing. It was the swing. Anyway, I think I moved. I had this clip in my hair holding my hair up. Anyway, I guess a wasp decided that my hair was a nice place to land at. And can you believe that Lexi would not try to get that off of my head? But it crawled to the top and finally Josh swatted it off of there. Yeah, not too long ago my son was in the hospital because of his diabetes, and that was one of the worst episodes that he had ever had. I know, I wouldn't have expected you to actually do anything, but there was not really much I could do at that point either. I knew if I reached up there to take the clip out of my hair, it probably would have stung me too. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to go ahead and end this. I've got to go and take care of some stuff in the other room. I had so much fun tonight. So glad everyone was able to stop by. And oh, before we go, I don't know if any of y'all are in here, but I have I have gained several new subscribers here lately, and I want to thank all of y'all for subscribing. Thank you so much. I finally hit 600 subscribers, and now I'm at 605, I believe. Thank you so much. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. Love you too, Lexi. Thank you, Margie. I don't know if you're still in here. Was it Diane? Thank you so much for stopping by. Everyone, take care, and I will see y'all Saturday if y'all are in the live. If not, I will chat with you next time. Bye, everyone. Take care.